I didn't mean to say the finals are going to take up the whole show, but
I can't hear you also. Hold on 1 second.
Lost audio?
Stupid.
Look who's having problems now. Not me. Not me.
Probably talking a bunch of BS right now.
So can we just like talk smack on him the whole time since he doesn't know what we're saying?
100%. He has no clue.
Oh, yeah. So all the teams in Houston should bring back the trash cans and throw themselves in it.
Whoa! Except for Yordan Alvarez, because that dude is hitting the ball real hard right now.
The Philadelphia Phillies are statistically the best team in baseball right now.
Can't wait for the Colts to be the best team in the division next year. He has just no light on. Zero idea. No clue.
Stephon Diggs is a cancer to a locker room.
Woo! Sophomore slump coming for CJ Stroud.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't buy that one. Oh, he's got audio.
Can you hear us now? Can you hear us now?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay, hey, welcome back. Welcome back.
Welcome to the Circus Catch. I'm always up for the challenge.
Are you kidding me? Guess who called that one?
I am dubbed the Houston player hater. I don't have time to believe
You got butthurt.
What is he thinking?
Is he the greatest of all time?
It is like magic.
It's been 21 days since our last recording. I can't believe that we waited this long. It feels like it's been forever. Guys, welcome back to the show. I've got Austin here. I've got Jackson with me. We're ready to kick June off.
With a bang.
Oh, I see what you
Been
did
a
there.
minute. Yeah, with a bang.
Bang!
Bang. 2 more days. Let's go.
Well, someone's excited for the NBA Finals. I know I am. I know Austin is. I know Jackson is. I know all of you out there are as well. Before we get started, I did want to make an announcement real quick. Earlier, before we started the season, we did say we were going to run season 2 for 7 months. That means that it would be ending in the month of June. However, we've gotten a lot of positive response lately. A lot of people want us to go longer, and for that reason, we have decided to add 2 more months to our calendar this season. So July and August, we're going to be giving you new episodes of the Circus Catch as well. Thank you for your continued support. We appreciate it so much. Let's review this Indiana-Boston series. Boston, of course, sweeping Indy 4-0. However, Indy kind of felt like the better team in a lot of these games. They would be up 3-1 if NBA games only lasted a couple of minutes less. Boston had some heroic comebacks in this series. They're moving on to the NBA Finals in 4 games. But I think this one could have easily gone the other way. What say you guys?
I think I had Boston in 5 or 6. I wasn't expecting a sweep. I think that at least Indiana would have put up at least 1 or 2, but I knew that Boston was going to take it. I, on the other hand, when we get to the Western Conference, was way off with that one. But Jason Tatum doing Jason Tatum things. It's just this dynasty. It's kind of getting close to, I know they haven't won anything yet, but this is kind of that era of the Boston Celtics right now with this team, with this young core. They need to win a championship to solidify like this next era of Boston Celtics basketball.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, just off of that point right there, Jason Tatum has to win a title this year or else he's going to keep hearing all of the criticism that he deserves because he hasn't won anything and he's so good in the regular season, yet in the postseason, he's not always that guy. Jaylen Brown, let's be honest, Jaylen Brown's been that guy this year in the playoffs. He has been. He saved them in the Pacers series. It's more about the blunder of Indiana because if they win that game 1, first off, can we call a timeout and just advance the ball to half court? That's your whole job as a head coach. Plus, veteran players have that heads up ability in their basketball IQ to be like, okay, we have a timeout. We're up 3. If we hit 2 free throws, 1 free throw, the game is over. It's absolutely over. And that was a big time mistake, a blunder by the Pacers. They end up losing it, of course. The Jaylen Brown 3. Tatum, mind you, had 0 points in that fourth quarter. Just to throw that out there. Jaylen Brown saves them, and then it was kind of a coast, just like the entire Eastern Conference has been for the Celtics. This is like, honestly, and this is not a hot take. This is just facts. This is one of the most Mickey Mouse title runs that a team has ever seen to the Eastern Conference Finals, let alone the NBA Finals. Round 1, no Jimmy Butler, Miami Heat. That's their best player. Round 2, Cleveland Cavaliers. Jared Allen is one of the best big men in the entire league. And then Donovan Mitchell gets hurt and misses 2 games. Those are their 2 best players. Easy series for them. Round 3, they get lucky in game 1. Indiana fails. Tyrese Halliburton gets hurt. It's a sweep. Indiana can't hang. They're very young as well. It's like, I mean, they haven't had a tough road whatsoever to get to the NBA Finals. And I cannot wait to see what Dallas has in store for them.
Yeah, you're right. They have had a fairly easy road with injuries along the way to each of these teams that I think they're better than anyways. They did it shorthanded without Porzingis as well. Let's keep that in mind. And it does seem like he's coming back next round. But you still have to play the games, right? And only losing a couple of games along the way, that's a big hats off to Boston. But I do agree with you on this. Jason Tatum did not show up like he has been in the regular season, and he needs to if they have a chance against this immensely tough Dallas team. Jaylen Brown was the man last series. He was the MVP of the Eastern Conference Finals. Game 1, they lose the momentum because they lose the game late. Like you said, Rick Carlisle, big time rookie mistake right there from a not rookie head coach, somebody who knows better, somebody who's been there. Listen, it's going to take everything Boston has to step up and elevate themselves to the level that Dallas has been playing. But up to this point, yeah, they've done the exact job that they've needed to. Tyrese Halliburton, of course, not playing in the latter half of that series, I think affected them. But I think at that point, the momentum was already lost for Indy. The Dallas Mavericks and the Minnesota Timberwolves. I look really foolish in this one because my take was that the Minnesota Timberwolves were going to handle the Dallas Mavericks. Quite the opposite. Anthony Edwards was nowhere to be found. Karl Anthony Towns forgot how to shoot.
Dallas
was,
yeah, except for one game.
But yeah, the tandem of Luka and Kyrie, which last year I did give the take that I thought this tandem was actually going to be really good. They didn't end up doing that last year, but they really locked it in this year, especially in this playoff run that they've had. Yeah, just pure domination all the way through.
I'm sorry to the Dallas Mavericks. I'm sorry, Kyrie. I'm sorry, Luka. I was very disrespectful with my take as well. I apologize. I recognize your game. I recognize that shooters shoot, winners win. And I was expecting the Timberwolves to at least go 6 or 7. And I thought that they had the better defensive scheme, but apparently not, because Luka is just shooting daggers behind the arc. It was just ridiculous. I don't know, especially what was it, game 5? Oh God. What do you have? 20 points in the first quarter. It's ridiculous.
I don't think we should be too hard on ourselves for that because, yeah, the Timberwolves obviously have the better defensive players, and it's just that the Mavericks played uncharacteristically supreme defense in this series.
Well, you have the defensive player of the year, and where was he? I think he's on a milk carton in Minneapolis somewhere, or is he in St. Paul? Whichever Twin City that he wants to be in hiding. That's my take right now. Where have you been, Rudy?
Dallas, I'm right there with you guys, man. I think I was the one, Jordan, when we talked about this, I didn't think that Kyrie and Luka were going to work so seamlessly. I was a big advocate for it not working. And can Kyrie drop his ego and can he mature and blah, 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 blah. And what we've seen is the man is actually happy. You could tell he is having legitimate fun playing basketball. And that's what he needed to get back to, because obviously he was going through some sort of, whether it was growth or mental issues or something like that, where he just didn't seem like he was good in the locker room. And he seemed like almost people were calling him a locker room cancer at one point. It's not my words. Those are other people's words. I'm impressed. I'm very impressed. The same thing. Minnesota, I thought Ant Edwards, everybody's like, oh, Jordan. He looks like Jordan. And he started out in the playoffs looking like the next version of like a Kobe Bryant or Michael Jordan. Not saying that he's going to be as good as those guys, but the way he plays and that aggressive passion reminded me a lot of number 8 Kobe when he first came into the league, and he wants to dunk on everybody. Oh, defensive player of the year. Oh, you're this person, you're that person. Don't care, right? It was just a bad matchup in my eyes too. Like, what are we doing switching pick and rolls with Rudy Gobert and Luka or Kyrie? You're talking about 2 of the best ball handlers in the NBA besides Steph Curry I mean, Luka has the most flawless handles, and it's so slow motion, and he lures you to sleep, and then all of a sudden you're, falling over, and he's hitting a step back three to win the game over Rudy Gobert. And then Kyrie, we know Kyrie's filthy with it. If they both score 65, 70 points a game, we don't even know half their role guys, their role pieces. They're no names, right? But they're really good players, and they're making names for themselves. If Luka and Kyrie score 65, 70 points a game, it's going to be tough for Boston. I'm just saying it right now.
All right, fellas, let's get to it. The NBA Finals. It's going to be the Dallas Mavericks from the West, the Boston Celtics from the East. We've got a lot of storylines going into this one, but real quick, I want to show you guys this interview that I did with my friend Kyle Rhodes a couple of weeks ago when we were still in the first round of the playoffs.
Yeah, I feel like the Eastern Conference playoffs have not been obviously the Pacer series, there's been some exciting moments, but I feel like a lot of the
Yesterday was exciting. Yeah.
From the East, can any of those teams beat whoever comes out of the West?
No, I don't even think the Celtics can.
Yeah, I'm kind of with you. I feel like they kind of breezed through the regular season, and a talented team. It's not like I think they'll get swept in the finals, but man, the West is just a juggernaut right now. You look at some of those teams, even in the middle of the pack in the West, I think would probably beat the Celtics in a series. So
I'd probably at this point take Dallas over Boston.
One thing Dallas can do is score in bunches, and man, if Doncic and Irving are hot in the same game, they can beat anyone in the NBA.
So I'm not saying I predicted the finals, guys, but I kind of predicted the finals in a manner of speaking. Well, Kyle and I tag teamed the prediction of the finals.
Here, we'll give you your flowers.
Oh God,
Those flowers look dead.
You can take those flowers all the way back.
Oh, I had to.
Those flowers need some sun and water.
Those flowers are beyond sun and water. It's over.
Like the Timberwolves.
Oh,
And Gobert's defense. Ooh.
Hey, Wemby should have been Defensive Player of the Year.
Yeah, that was straight robbery. But yeah, are we
unbiased opinion?
Are we going predictions right now?
Let's go predictions. After that video, I can't really get out of the Dallas Mavericks prediction. So I got to go Dallas, and I think I would have gone Dallas anyways. Porzingis coming back makes me think the series is going to get extended a little longer because they do have that help where they haven't had it previously. So I'm going to say Dallas in 7 games.
This is you guys already know this is easy for me. I'm a Laker fan. I will never root for the Celtics, and I'm not going to say that they're going to win. And I like Dallas, and I'm doing a story on their GM, and I love the way Luka's playing. I love the way Kyrie's playing. They got some, like Jordan was saying, they got some really good storylines, especially some of the big guys in the paint. Won't give those away too much, but I got Dallas, and I think it's Dallas in 6 because Boston has home court advantage, and Dallas doesn't want to push it to a game 7 in Boston. And I think that the Boston Celtics are most vulnerable in games 1 and 2 at home. They come out slow at home. They haven't been playing well at home in the postseason, the entire postseason. They've got some wins, obviously. They got some lucky wins, but Dallas in 6. Let's get it.
You were saying, Austin, earlier that it's kind of been a cupcake road to the finals for the Celtics. They're going to be well rested, but obviously so are the Mavs coming off of, game 5 win. But I'm going to take the Celtics. I'll say Celtics in 6.
All right, guys, I think I'm ready to admit it. Florida is indeed a hockey state. 5 years in a row, including this year now, the team to represent the Eastern Conference has come from the state of Florida. We saw it with the Tampa Bay Lightning 3 years in a row. This is now the 2nd year in a row we've seen it from the Florida Panthers. They beat the President's Trophy winner, the New York Rangers, to get to the Stanley Cup final. And this is a stat I think you guys might enjoy. Just being general haters, especially you, Jackson. With the New York Rangers losing, this makes 100 concurrent seasons that teams who claim the city of New York, the Jets, Giants, Rangers, Islanders, Mets, Yankees, Knicks, and Nets, have not won a championship.
Just love it because
Combined?
yeah, combined.
Obviously. Holy cow. I'm like, whoa, there's a lot of math going on there. Math ain't math.
Yeah.
I love it. Don't
So-
need to see New York on top. We don't like them.
I agree.
Yeah, it's so weird to hear Florida as a hockey state. That's just a weird statement. That just doesn't sound right.
Well, you better believe it because this is now 5 straight seasons. Carter Verhaeghe, Matthew Tkachuk, and the boys, they've been dominating that conference the last couple years.
Yeah, I just love what Edmonton's head coach said in the press conference when he was asked, what do you think about the Florida Panthers experience in the Stanley Cup final last year and how will you get past their experience? And he goes, well, yeah, experience is great. When he asked the Buffalo Bills how Super Bowl experience has paid off for them.
Ooh, sorry, Jesse.
Yeah, he just threw it out there in the press conference, just a jab right at the Bills. And I was like, I messed with this Edmonton guy. I like this. I like this head coach.
He's one of us. He's a general hater. The fact that he took it from his sport and went to another sport just to hate on them, that's
From the top rope.
yeah,
Oh.
that's pretty crazy. Let's shift over to the West real quick then. Let's talk about these Edmonton Oilers. They were having a Cinderella season. Looked like they were going to be down bad against the Canucks in that second round. Ended up beating them and ended up beating the Dallas Stars in the Western Conference final to move on to the Stanley Cup final. Dallas was potentially going to have 2 separate parades within the course of a day or two. If the Stars could have won the Stanley Cup, obviously, we would have seen, I don't know if I've ever seen 2 parades come from the same city at the same time. That's actually something we should probably look up to see if it's happened before. We'll find that out. But let's keep it going. So another general hate for you. The city of Dallas has seen a lot of success recently. Their hockey team went to the Western Conference final this year. Their basketball team is in the championship. Their baseball team is the reigning champions. Their
The
football
Cowboys
team-
still suck.
Their football team hasn't seen success in 3 decades.
Hey, but this is our season, man. This is our season. Every Dallas Cowboys fan, man. This is our season. This is our year, man.
Oh man, we're gonna get in so much trouble. We're gonna get a lot of hateful comments this week.
Negative. Never has happened before.
All right, so it's never happened before. Could have happened this year. We got close. Is not going to happen this year.
Oh, tragedy for Philly in 1980. The Sixers and the Flyers lost.
Okay, Austin and I are the only general haters on this show. Jackson is a specific hater.
Let's get that clear. He is a specific hater.
The Edmonton Oilers are the winning part of that Western Conference final. They're back in the Stanley Cup Finals. First time since 2006. Guys, like I've mentioned before, 1993, the last time that the Lord Stanley's Cup made its home north of the border. What are the odds that we see it again this year with Connor McDavid having one of the best years in all of hockey?
Very good odds, to be honest. But just for the reason that you just said, Connor McDavid is playing phenomenal. Now, can they get it done on the back of him? It's going to be difficult. This Florida Panthers team is very good, and they've got a very good goaltender in the net. The other pieces around Connor McDavid are going to be the X factors on whether Edmonton can get it done or not. And can Skinner outperform Florida's goalie? It's going to be tough. Still rooting for Edmonton, though.
I don't know hockey that well. Actually, I want the Oilers to win.
Thank you.
I do, but I don't know hockey as well as you guys, and no one knows hockey on the podcast as well as Jesse does. But just what Jesse has brought to my attention, especially with the Oilers earlier this season, I would like, because this is the first time that they've made it to the Stanley Cup final since 2006, I believe. Yeah. And obviously, I know the Panthers haven't won anything, but back in the day, whenever the great one himself, Wayne Gretzky, was playing for Edmonton, they were freaking dynasty. So I wouldn't mind for them to appreciate and hoist that cup back over in good old Canada, eh?
Last year's Cinderella story was the Florida Panthers. This year's Cinderella story is the Edmonton Oilers. You look at a coaching change mid-season. Like Austin said, this coach got some little bit of spark to him. But all that being said, I think Florida's got it this year. I think Florida took down a much tougher schedule to get there. I think even that first round matchup against Tampa Bay was pretty difficult. They beat the Rangers, the best team in hockey, to get to this point. So I'm going to say that the overall roster, which I think is better in Florida, is going to end this run of Edmonton. The cup does not go north of the border this year, fellas. All right, guys. Xander Schauffele. That's a great last name. Xander Schauffele is a golf champion. Austin, there were some crazy events surrounding the weekend, including the arrest of Scotty Scheffler. Go ahead and give us the details on all of that.
Well, it was a couple weekends ago now. Pretty, big time an event for the PGA Tour, another major. And it just got overshadowed by an overreaction by law enforcement. Unfortunately, Scotty Scheffler was trying to get to the golf course. There was an accident that happened at the opening gate at the PGA Championship. And Scotty was instructed by a certain police officer to go a certain way. He did. The other officer didn't communicate with that guy, didn't like it. There's many stories out there, but this is the story that the lawyer put out. So if you guys want to look up the story, go ahead. The officer then physically removed Scotty out of the car for apparently no reason. Prior statement said that he had held onto the car and got dragged for many feet. Videos came out. That wasn't the truth. Overreaction. Once again, pulls him out of the car, doesn't even ask who he is, arrests him, throws him in jail. Not only that, another overreaction. When you book somebody for such a minor offense, you don't put them in an orange jumpsuit and take a mugshot like that. That's also defamation of character, basically, for Scotty. If he wanted to sue, he could. He's not going to, obviously, but that was another embarrassment of that whole situation. The owner of Valhalla Golf Club was the one that picked Scotty Scheffler up because of how ridiculous this situation was, which unfortunately overshadowed the importance and the big-time event of the PGA Championship, another major for the PGA Tour. It's really unfortunate, obviously.
How do you not have your body cam on, recording everything? That's kind of one of the things that helped get the case dismissed. That's my big take right there.
Not only dismiss, it also helps if you're trying to press charges on Scotty and you're saying that you did something or he did something. Hello, body cam. That's what they're for.
I think Dan
Don't
Levitar
forget about his $80 pants. They're ruined for life. Scotty got through it, but the more impressive part of that weekend was Mr. Xander Schauffele. Down the stretch, down the final 18 on Sunday, what he does every time when he's leading the major is usually choke, and he finally got over the hump. He finally got the job done, unlike Jason Tatum has yet to do in the NBA Finals.
Wow.
It was an amazing, amazing performance from Xander, dominant from start to finish. Impressive, just absolutely impressive. First major championship puts him into another echelon of top PGA Tour players. It's going to be dominant for a long time. He just came out with some very interesting statements about the leader of the PGA Tour, but we won't go there. Xander Schauffele gets it done. Major champion for the first time. And I think with his game, the way he hits the ball and how solid he has in his ball striking and his putting, he's going to be a dominant player for a long time. Phenomenal weekend.
Unheralded general hate. We love it. That's what the show's turning into, which is
just
great.
hate Boston. I'm a LA guy. I hate Boston. From the top
somehow,
row, baby.
You somehow snuck your Lakers bias into a golf story, which is great.
As soon as you said, let's talk about the PGA, my brain was like, talk about Jason Tatum not doing it. Xander doing it. I don't know why. It's the first thing that popped in my head. I was like, yeah, I'm definitely using this analogy for sure.
Gentlemen, we are seeing another lifetime ban this year, but this time it's not in basketball, it's in baseball. Tucupita Marcano from the San Diego Padres has been banned for life for betting on baseball back when he was with the Pirates. He bet on 25 games while he was on the IL. Obviously, he's going to have access to inside information from the IL that nobody else is going to have. So clearly something needed to happen. Guys, is there a rise in people betting on their teams, or is it just that people are getting caught a lot easier now?
I think it's more just getting caught, because with the availability of sports betting that is on your phone, and the fact that you have geolocations that will ping you from wherever you are. And even if you have, let's say, a false ID or whatever, you can still
A VPN.
find your Yeah, exactly. Thank you, Austin. I was about to say that. With the way technology is set up now, it's pretty hard to not get caught doing something stupid.
Yeah, Jonte Porter earlier in the year in the NBA, brother of Michael Porter, banned for life as well. So we are seeing an uptick in lifetime bans. We have yet to see it in the NFL, but I feel like it's coming because we have seen these guys who have been banned for at least a year. You think of Calvin Ridley. 4 guys in Major League Baseball also just got banned for a year, including an A's pitcher. And a fellow Padre, one of the teammates of Marcano. Austin, what are your thoughts on this?
I just don't. I don't understand how dumb you could be to like think that you can get away with this in today's day and age. With exactly what Jackson was saying is like, the amount of stuff that the FBI pins on people, you don't think that they can't figure out that you're sports betting from your phone, or you're betting on your own team, or doing this or doing that? Like, what are we doing here? Like, why? Like,
you can bet on other leagues. You can bet on other leagues. Just don't bet on your league.
Right. And I understand the certain, like, the risk is not worth the reward. You're not going to win hundreds of thousands of dollars or millions of dollars by placing a couple bets. Your longevity. So the veteran minimum, by the way, I don't know if you guys know this, it's like $900,000 in the NFL, right? So if you think about it, $900,000 is the vet minimum. If you just make it to your eligibility of being a vet and you stay in the league, you can get paid $900,000. You're not going to make anywhere close to that sports betting on your own team. What's the point?
Not only that, but let's just, this little bit from the Jeff Passan article. Marcano bet almost exclusively on the outcomes of games and lost all of his parlay bets involving the Pirates, winning just 4.3% of all MLB related bets, according to the league. 4.3%. That's all you won. That was your winning percentage.
That sounds like an addiction problem. Yeah. And I mean, this could be, you know, the tip of the iceberg, to be completely honest, because gambling is everywhere. As they were talking about this on the radio, they read a promo ad about DraftKings. It's everywhere. It's in your face. You can go anywhere in Montana right here. I can walk to Old Chicago right there, place as many bets as I want to. Doesn't matter. Walk in.
So you could put the app on your phone right now.
100%. Montana Bet, ESPN Bet.
Wow.
Put it in.
Wow.
You just put it on your phone. It's everywhere. It's becoming a massive problem, and I don't really know how they're going to fix it. How do you change the mindset of these players to understand, like, look, if you want to bet, just bet on a different league. Don't bet on your own team. It's that simple. Like, why would you try to throw things, or like basically cheat to win? I don't know. It's obviously, it's already a problem, and I don't think it's going anywhere anytime soon, unless it's almost like the ignorance of the players, to be honest, because they're not realizing, like we talked about earlier, is the big picture.
Guys, I appreciate you coming back after a few weeks off. It's been really good to see you guys and talk to you again. Usually, what?
Bloopers.
No, that's staying in. That's not a blooper.
The microphone had a malfunction.
User error. User error.
Watch it.
Yeah, it was. My microphone's not going anywhere. Jackson's microphone's not going anywhere. Austin, keep your mic in check, please. No pun intended. All right. Well, from
Hey,
from Texas out to Montana, down here to California. See you guys next week. Sayonara.